This is one big place. Unbelievable. Alaska is the largest state. I can't believe the vastness of this part of our country. 230 Arctic villages, and only 10 of them have been entered by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. You know, the work isn't going to be finished anywhere until it's finished everywhere, and that includes these Arctic villages. There is absolutely no presence of our Adventist Church. Something has to be done. We need a plan. These are great people. These people have lived here for centuries.
Because these villages are so remote, they're very closed societies, and it's very difficult to enter those villages unless we have some way to reach into the village itself.
I've never heard of the Seventh-day Adventist Church because the village where I was born and raised, we don't have a Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Without anybody here, nothing happens.
We've got about 3,800 members in all of Alaska, about 2,000 active members in the whole state. And most of those members are concentrated in the area where we've got half of our population. Over 50% of our population are in the Anchorage area, the Anchorage Bowl area. And so the rest of it is very vast, very remote, and those are the areas that are very difficult to reach.
There are so many people in the outreaches of the villages that don't even know the gospel yet and need to be reached. We have a big, big, big challenge, and because of the hugeness of the state.
There's no way that the small nucleus of people can do this task, so we really need some outside help.
You can help us enter these villages.
We'd like to see a radio station in every village in the whole of Alaska.
It's not that expensive. For less than $1,000, we can put an FM station in a local village.
A computer, and it has a small FM transmitter. And what we're doing is we load a certain amount of media onto a hard drive, and then we play it out over a period of time.
Perhaps you could fundraise, bake sales, whatever, and raise that $1,000 and help us put a radio station in the village. Perhaps you'd like to help us blanket that village with literature. Whatever way that you want to help, we would be very thankful.
We need assistance and help from our fellow believers in North America.
Our native work has been very slow in kicking off. And I think the main reason has been that we've not utilized Alaska natives.
If there's going to be a successful native work, the native people need to take ownership of it.
It's never too late to start. And it's never too late to change the thinking of people.
Our expectations as a conference, or in those days a mission, was that when a young person becomes a pastor, that he would go wherever the conference might call him. And so we would actually end up taking him out of his own culture. We would put him in other locations, but not allow him to work within his own armor.
Hi, my name is Cecilia Anguson, and I'm here in Dillingham, Alaska at the unentered market. People in Alaska really identify with their own. That is something that is very, very factual. They don't have prejudices, I would not say that that's the word, toward non-natives, but there is definitely a connection that is needed. I'm raising money for my son's guitar. He's doing a ministry in Alaska here this summer, and he wants his own guitar. So, here you go. Chad Anguson is my son. He's attending Walla Walla University. I look at Chad's bill for school to be a theology major, pastor, $80,000. It's a lot of money to be able to tell somebody they can go talk about God. That's my feeling as a mom. But I know that because of the standards that we have in our church organization, that it's important. You're recognized, you're official, but those lay pastors out there are just as important.
For the last 60 years, the Adventist Church has been employing many non-natives to come and work with our native folks in Alaska.
Dan Rodoff is an octogenarian who has dedicated the rest of his life to serving God in one of these villages. He is an amazing gentleman who spent his life as a wrangler and a guide. When he lost his beloved soulmate and his wife here a few years ago, he decided that he would become a missionary. He's been serving as a lay pastor in the village of Togiak for the last 3 or 4 years and doing a wonderful job in loving the people and drawing them together in this new little church that we built.
I'm here as a volunteer, and there are people that support my ministry here, which makes it possible.
We really need to start thinking again how to bring these young people back into service here, how to train them to work in the situation that we find here. We even have a young lady that we just baptized.
What excites me about God is that when we let Him lead our lives, He takes us in a direction that we never thought we'd ever be in.
I owned Northern Lights Bed and Breakfast and also a gift shop at the airport. And I first met Sheryl when she came and stayed.
I'm a police officer. I'm new to the police department. This is the way Alaskans wash their cars during the winter. I came to Dillingham, Alaska, stayed in the Northern Lights Bed and Breakfast with Margarita for an interview. When I first came to the Northern Lights Bed and Breakfast, I noticed that there was a bunch of Bibles laying around, and that impressed me that Margarita was into God and into studying the Bible. I thought that God was a scary God and you don't want to piss Him off. You know, that was my thought, and that's a lot of other people's thoughts too, is, you know, and that's what really discouraged me in the past, and I know it discourages a lot of other people, and they're scared. What got me more into God when I moved here was the radio station, and I mainly listen to the radio station when I'm either patrolling out, you know, in Dillingham, or if I'm going to the store. I was, you know, telling the Lord, I feel so lost, please, you know, help me. And so I heard this, like this still small voice, you know, telling me, go to the airport, go see Margarita. But, you know, I thought to myself, you know, maybe I'll go check her later. I heard that voice again telling me, go to the airport, go see Margarita. And, you know, I thought about it. I was like, oh, okay. So I went up to the airport. I went to her gift shop, and I asked her, you know, which church she goes to, and she told me the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And, you know, I thought it was just like any other church, you know, where people go on Sundays. But then she told me that the church that she goes to, they have the services on Saturdays at 9 a.m. I asked her if she's willing to have a Bible study with me, and, you know, we agreed to. I guess our friendship began through Bible studies. We started with the Native New Day, and the more I learned about the Bible, my heart was touched. You know, it hit the switch. I wanted to get rebaptized as a Seventh-day Adventist. I want to be ready for when Jesus comes.
Welcome to the Savoonga Seventh-day Adventist Church on St. Lawrence Island. This is located in the Bering Sea. The western part of the island is actually about 35 miles off the coast of Siberia. I'd like you to meet two close friends of mine and two missionaries here.
My husband and I have been in Savoonga for 2 years, and it's been quite rewarding to be here, to get to know the people, become a part of the community in the village. This is our house right over here. We work with the school and the village on suicide prevention programs. We have a youth building here that we are allowed to use that we have 2 nights a week. One is a game night, one is a video night, movie night for all of the young people in the village. We most recently started a food bank, which is right next door to our house. This is where we're going into the food bank. We cleaned up this little building, fixed it up, put steps, repaired, replaced windows. This building was loaned to us by Harriet Panaya for Adventist Community Services, and we'll be using it for a food bank. The food source is the Alaska State Food Bank. People will be able to come in once a month and get their food. Their allotment will be according to how many people are in their family.
This is just another way that we're able to help the people in the village by providing them access to free food that they need.
It's all about surviving here and helping each other, because in this environment, in this community, it is a community of taking care of each other.
There's a need for more of you folks to come and help these folks in these villages realize the importance of having a spiritual life and getting to know God.
This really is a mission field.
My name is Mike Hansen. I live in Gambell, Alaska. Welcome to my world. This is the snow capital of Alaska. It's 10 degrees today, and everybody says it's spring. One of the things that is important to us, to the work here, is to support the church. Our church has an open door policy, so we're here all the time, and that's important. To be here, to be available to the people, to allow them to get to know you, to trust you, takes time. This island is owned exclusively by the Eskimos here. This is the Arctic. We're just a few miles from Russia, Siberia, and we're right in the Bering Sea, and it's cold here and it's difficult in the wintertime. It's not even warm in the summertime. 55 degrees is kind of a high in the summertime.
We have a presence here, Adventist Church. We live in the parsonage. Coco's been a wonderful ambassador for us because some of the kids had never seen a cat before, or even if they'd seen one, were afraid to touch one, so they found out that she can be very soft, and she loves watching the kids and playing with them and checking them out, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. There are many, many people who have been baptized here but don't come to church anymore for whatever reason, and we're trying to reconnect with them.
This is the U.S. Post Office. The postmaster is a member of the church, and it's very nice to have friends in high places. This is our mailbox right here. P.O. Box 10. There's always lots of mail. So this means I got a package.
Hi, my name is Susie Bushu. I'm the postmaster here in Gambell, Alaska. I am a born Seventh-day Adventist Church member. I've just recently started. I've been going to church on and off for my entire life. The main reason I didn't really come to church a lot was because we didn't have a regular pastor on a normal basis.
We're in Gambell, Alaska, and Mike and I have moved up here to work with the children, give them a safe place to be and to work with them and give them new experiences. As you can see, we're making cookies today. And this is Kaya. She lives next door. And her mama said that we are her other grandparents. So she comes over just about all the time. And we do things like coloring and playing with baby dolls and puzzles.
And we've been here for 10 months, and they're just now not asking us anymore if we're going to leave soon, how long we're staying. And we've been here through the winter now, and so we're becoming more accepted in the village, which allows us to be more effective.
Once they get attached to you, they don't want you to leave because so many people come and go in their lives. We have an extremely high turnover in the teachers. Of all the teachers in the school this year, only 4 are staying for next year. So there's a high turnover of people who come into their lives and leave, and they get attached, and then they lose their people. So we're going to try and stay here as long as we can and watch these kids grow up.
Friendship evangelism works very well here, but it's slow and takes time and takes effort and energy, and it's a long-term commitment that can be very fruitful. My wife and I are here because we like doing this. The Lord made it available for us to come, and we enjoy being here. Sometimes it's difficult, the weather's bad and those kind of things, and the food is expensive. But we have some support. People do send us boxes of food from the lower 48. We have several people that send packages every month, and that helps us a lot. We have people that send us clothes that we give out. Just remember to send good quality stuff. If you don't want to wear it, they don't want to wear it either. That it's important for our church to be a strong presence in these villages and to help them. Life is difficult here. There's really no industry here where the general population can work. There's a couple of stores, and the city government have people that are employed, but most of the people are unemployed. They live on subsistence, hunting and fishing.
I'm working a lot with the younger kids because as they grow older, they are at risk. Suicide is a very big problem in the villages. The earlier you start to give them confidence and love, the better off they are later. We have a couple kids who come here just to take naps because their parents drink all night and keep them awake, and they can't get any sleep for school, so they come over and sit in the chair and go to sleep for a couple hours. And that's just giving them a safe place. And some of the carvers sometimes talk about how dysfunctional their family life is, and they just come over here and talk to us and sit and watch basketball games with Mike or something like that. So mostly we're here as a safe place, but we also try to encourage them in their culture.
What I want to talk to you about today is some equipment we need. We have this Honda. It's an electronic shift, and it doesn't work in the cold weather. One of the things we would really like to have is a snowmobile so we can get around in the winter time. Behind me is our fuel tank. The fuel tank has a hole in it, so it makes it difficult for us to store enough fuel for the whole winter. We have to bring over fuel and pump it in by hand.
Have you had your workout for the day yet?
One of the things that we're praying for here in Gambell is a new trailer. This one has seen its last days. It's wore out, and we use it a lot for hauling trash and hauling people from the airport, and the tires are bad. One of them goes flat all the time. I have to pump it up every time I use it, and I really need a trailer. This one's in really bad shape. So those are big issues for us, having a place to store the fuel and a snow machine. Those kind of things would really help us a lot. And we're home.
We want to make sure that there's a voice heard through radio, through mass mailings, anything that can be done to make sure that there's an opportunity for these native people to know Jesus and to be prepared for His soon return.
Just contact us. Go to the Alaska website, alaskaconference.org, and there you'll find additional information.